You are not the dreamer. You are not the thoughts. You are not the body. And you are not this world. We are in a dream. This is why we can't remember. This is why we don't know where we're from or where we're going. And no one asks that question because it's an illusion. It's a dream. We're all hallucinating. We see what we want to see. It doesn't make it real. It's about our perception. It's about our position, our outlook. It's about who we are and the circumstances we come from. All that happens to us, for better or for worse, is a product of our own mind. And we react to the things we already put out there that are coming back. And then we create those incidences over and over and over again because we are the creator. We are the receiver. We are the giver. We are the doer. We are the only one who can take our power back. This big broken mirror of God shattered into all of us. And we grope looking for answers when we are the answer. But there are things in the way because of the power of this dream and the power of our mind to believe what has happened, the power of our mind to keep creating this world around us based on the beliefs of who we think we are because of what has or hasn't happened. And the Kundalini energy is the spark of life force that keeps our body moving, that keeps our body alive, that is more of who we are than what we see now. This body, this face, how many bodies will we inhabit so that we can work things out that can't be worked out? Because the second we solve that, the second we get that, the second we keep that away, something else happens. And yet all the humans out there, how many of them actually notice that? It's the grand illusion. It is Maya. Everything is Maya. The only thing true is silence, but yet there is no silence. All the silence is filled with sound, the sound of thoughts, the sound of electromagnetic waves, the sound of memories, the sound of the television, the computer screen. We have to get as close to silence as we can to know the true light that we are. When the Kundalini energy awakens from its slumber in the root chakra and begins to rise, the only thing happening is that it is moving through all the things we aren't that we think we are. And our body reacts, our emotions react, our mind reacts, our life reacts. And while we feel a power from this rising, we also feel the fear from this rising because of all the things we have to acknowledge and all the places we're holding on to who we aren't. We weren't that person then and we aren't that person now. We aren't this person. We are only the light that will leave the body. We are the consciousness. But when the consciousness leaves the body and all these things that we think are true, all the desires, all the traumas are still stuck and unredeemed within us, around us, all about our astral body, we come back because we still believe in the dream. When the Kundalini energy rises, it begins to throw things off. And this is such an uncomfortable thing for people that we can't hold still. And the energy's moving, and the prana's rising, and it's pushing through all these blocks, and it's awakening us to the truth. The truth may be the truth of the pain that's frozen. The truth may be the truth of a talent that we didn't know we had. The truth may be all sorts of things at once. The relative truth to who we have developed ourselves to be, and the gifts that we have, and the things we need to work out because of so much behind what you see right now has happened. And we produce those things, and we try to resolve those things, but those things are not us, and they never will be. The energy rises. Higher and higher the energy goes, the more transparent, the more etheric we need to become. And to do that, we need to be very grounded by a force that is beyond, like, depending on outer circumstances, depending on a strong, healthy body. We have to have a security that is so deep that nothing can shake it. And anything that's material can be shaken. So this has to be the dependency and the trust of a deep light that cannot be moved. And it calls for us the only peace that we can have is to get as close to that light as we can, so that that trust in that solid ground of that light is so strong that we can withstand the truth that waits for us in the silence. When we are alone, when we close our eyes, when we go within, there is much that waits for us there. The beauty of God waits for us there, and the terror of all the demons wait for us there. And it is our war to fight, it is our battle to win. It is our light to shine. But the energy is basically moving us through our karma more quickly, making us aware more quickly, opening up our perceptions more quickly, and that is a shaky ground. So if you remember, when all these things trigger you, all these people trigger you, all these weird emotions trigger you, all these crazy thoughts trigger you, you are not the dreamer. You are not the mind or the thoughts. You are not this body. You are not this world. You are perfect joy that cannot be moved by any wave on the outside. And so the truth is, that's the truth. So when you keep coming back to that truth, practice makes perfect. Your spiritual practice can be to just sit and feel who you are. Close your eyes and feel who you are. And listen to your breath, and feel your light, and feel your feelings, and watch the thoughts rise and then disappear. Practice observing yourself rather than getting pulled into yourself. Yourself meaning this person that you see before you. We get pulled into the feelings in our body, and then our thoughts start moving around them, and then we identify with that. And why we're coming back here over and over again is because we are identified with our desires. We are identified with our traumas. We are identified with all these characteristics that we may not even want about ourselves, but were programmed into us because of conditioning, because of the culture, because of so many things that seem to be out of our control. But what is in our control is to increase our awareness and to open our eyes. There is nothing going on. It is all a spun out dream. There is nothing to be gained on earth but to wake up. When someone has a Kundalini awakening and you've come this far, you understand that what's going to happen is going to happen. We are not in charge. Our little personality is not in charge. We can ride the wave. We can come back to the light of peace. We can let our thoughts spin out. We can let our feelings go on within our body. And we can practice not getting hooked, not identifying. Acknowledging, embracing, understanding ourselves is one thing. But you're so much bigger than who you are today. You're so much bigger than this life. You're so much bigger than this person. No matter how great you may become in the eyes of the world, the truth is you are worth so much more than anything you could become on the outside to anybody. But when the energy rises, we have a lot of things we have to confront about ourselves, and it gets right in our face. The faster you're moving, the faster your energy is increasing its speed, the more you're going to see, the harder it gets. But with that difficulty and that moving through that difficulty comes higher and higher levels of consciousness and a deeper wisdom and understanding, not based on words, not based on being sure we know, but just knowing, just feeling the truth without any reason, without any explanation, just being the presence, the peace of the presence of the all-knowing light is who we are. And we're using all these tools of the senses and mind and these buried survival energy fears to move us through this life, thinking that's going to get us somewhere, when all it gets us is where the next guy got, which is dead and about ready to be born again and do the same thing all over again. So the question is, when we ask ourselves, what do I want? And we really understand that there is nowhere left to turn but within, that there is nothing left to get, that there is no way we can ever run from ourselves, because eventually we're going to have to stop and face it. Because it's you running from you, the imaginary you running from the imaginary you that's trapped inside. The imaginary feelings we don't want to deal with, all the imaginary things. But when we see, I am not real, and that makes sense because I have no idea how I got here or where I'm going. Where are we? What are we doing here on earth? Oh, this is a dream. That's the only thing that makes sense. That there is no death. That I can never die because I actually wasn't born. This is a dream. This world is a dream. We are working through it. We are waking up from the dream. And the rising energy of the Kundalini is for one thing only: to wake up from the dream. And it's hard to wake up from the dream because we have believed in it. It's all we had for so long. But go to God. Go within. Go back to your heart. You, the truth, the closest you could ever get to the truth of who you are can be felt in your heart. So go there and just give up the struggle to be good, to be right, to do right. Give up the struggle because you already are those great, wonderful things you try so hard to be. When we give up, when we let go, when we trust, when we refine our intention, when we just relax and don't go back into the past and don't jump into the future, but be in the moment. Be with the moment. Be the yoga of the moment. Meet every moment with the grace of ever-increasing awareness and become the master of your life.